Background. Hello, everyone. It's me again. I am back. Woohoo! And I'm here with a new guest today, Allison Sutter. In case you don't know me, my name is Jennifer Hart, and my mission in the world is to connect people together with information and each other in regards to the realm of personal development, spirituality, and basically up leveling themselves to their best and highest self or higher consciousness, whatever you might call it in your world. So I wanted to bring on Allison today because she's doing this amazing intuition masterclass, and I actually get to be a part of it. So I'm super excited. Woohoo!
Yay.
I want to talk about how we met. So I just meet random people all the time. I've been this way since I was a child, and Allison and I are both Kajabi users. And if you don't know what Kajabi is, it's just a website where you can host everything. It's like an all-in-one platform. If you're
Yeah.
interested, you can message us. We'll tell you more about it. But that's where we host our websites at, and we're in the same Facebook group. And Allison had posted, I don't even remember what the post was about, but she posted something, and I reached out to her, and I was like, oh, I wanted to support you on this. And then we ended up connecting. She did an interview for some stuff that I was researching, and then we've just stayed in touch, and there was just like we're very on the same path. We have the same mission to help up level the consciousness of society and the world. And so Allison, I would love to introduce you and have you tell everyone kind of what your background is.
Sure. Well, this is me. I have been a teacher forever. I mean, I went into elementary education to begin with. And then over the years, when my kids were younger, I stayed home because it wasn't financially feasible for me to go back and then pay someone to raise my kids. So I stayed home. And at that point, I got into holistic health, and I got like a certificate in holistic lifestyle. And then I went on this journey. And then about 6 years ago, well, more than that, actually, I think it was like 2014. I actually worked with Bob Proctor for a little while. I went into personal development, and then from there, I started writing my own spiritual curriculum. I wrote a book. I decided to really delve into that avenue of intuition, getting around fear, and being authentically oneself. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of years, is writing this curriculum and focusing on that, helping people with that.
I love that. And it's so important. And I feel like there's so many of us on the same path. And that's why you and I really connected, is
Mhm.
because I'm on that path also. And one of the things we had talked about was how intuition is so important in our lives. And we all have it. And it's in our everyday life. I assume that's why it's called everyday living.
Yeah. Yes.
Intuition. And I think it's an important mission to have and to bring the awareness to people, because I rewind back to when I was younger. I had heard about intuition, but I didn't think I had it.
Mhm.
And then I look back at when I first started my spiritual journey, and now I'm realizing that we all have it. It's there, but you have to kind of unpack or tap into tools to be able to reconnect with it. So I think what you're doing with this masterclass is so important and such good work. And I know that you have put so much work into it. But I would like to know, why in the first place did you decide to create it, and what inspired you?
Well, I've always been intuitive, but I realized growing up that it wasn't a conversation that we could have in my family. So I grew up with, you know, pretty much the voices saying, if you can't see it, it's not real. And I saw all this stuff that wasn't real. Like, I had very intuitive, and to me, intuition is the conversation with your higher self. So it's a spiritual conversation. So I was having these spiritual conversations from 3 on. And it wasn't until, and then when my mom died of cancer, I was there watching her, and I saw her essence transition out. And that's sort of, I think, probably when it kicked in for me, but I was 20. I was like, no, I just want to go, like, try to live my life. I really didn't have the conversation. And then later on in life, it just came back to me. And then when I realized when I wanted to go write my own material, I'm like, well, what do I want to focus on? I want to focus on this conversation with self, because it is the most important conversation. And actually, to be honest with you, it is the only thing that saves me when I start spiraling out of control, because I have social anxiety. And so when those voices start, I have tried everything. I've tried, reprogramming the subconscious mind. I've tried playing bigger, gratitude, like everything I spent years trying to harvest something from personal development that worked for me. Intuition was the only thing, because it's a conversation with the higher self. So I thought, you know what, everybody's intuitive. And this is really the time and place on earth when it's important for us to get in touch with our real selves and have the conversation, because intuition's love based. So
Oh, I love that. That gave me chills when you were talking about with your mom. Like
mhm.
seriously, I was like, ooh. And there are a lot of people that experience those types of things, and it's not a common conversation in a lot of households, like you said. And so people feel very lost, or they don't know what to do with that information or how to use it. And I love that you bring up the fact that intuition is love based and it is your higher self. And I think also like your connection with the higher source or power, whatever you call it. And it's different for everybody, it shows up differently.
Yep.
um, Tell me more. What is the course that you're putting together about the master class?
So it's how to use intuition in everyday life, meaning that I don't think we've quite had the conversation where we understand the power of its guidance. And so when I say everyday living, I just mean from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. How can you connect with this aspect of you that is leading you on the most exciting path to get from where you are to where you want to be? So you could use it at work. You could use it when you're cooking. You could use it in a relationship. You could use it for a project. I used it the whole way through I designed this course. I listened to what my higher self was saying, and I was like, how can I get from where I am to where I want to be? Everything from picking the practitioners to how to design the curriculum to what to put out, when to put it out, everything. So it can be integrated. And I teach to my kids, because it's really following that highest level of excitement. And they're, got one in college, two in high school. So how do you live from an intuitive place? So really everyday living. I mean, it's there. How can we harvest it?
Oh, I love that. I love that intuition guided you the whole way. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned you're teaching it to your kids too. I plan to do the same whenever kids come into my world one day. I think that's really important, and that's going to make a huge difference in the world is when we're connected to that love and our intuition is guiding us. And so this
Mhm.
work that you're doing is extremely important. Who would you say that this masterclass is for?
Well, somebody who's interested in clearly you have to be interested in the conversation. People who want to learn to trust and follow their intuition in every aspect of their life. So it really is something that can take you from being in a position of doubt to being in a position of flow. So it's going from doubt to flow. I've marketed it to women, but honestly, I'm a general neutral person. You can come if you're a man. I don't care. It's like, just if you're interested in the conversation of going from a place of doubt to a place of flow. Now, one of my biggest sort of like teaching points is that we're not going to live fearlessly. So, what do you do when fear and doubt show up? Because they're going to show up. And I'll give you a perfect example. So, when I planned this whole masterclass. You could call it a summit too, because it's sort of a hybrid between a summit and a class, because it's an actual class. Like I'm there on the other side of the portal for people who purchase the All Access Pass to work with them. But so the layout that I purchased to plan the summit it's magnificent. I took it to a whole nother level, but the core skeleton was there. And then the woman shared it with the woman who planned the course. And she sent me an email. Of course, she started out with, I never do this. She was like, because to pay to get her time and attention, you have to pay to get her time and attention. And she was like, I'm really worried about the term masterclass. She's like, I think it's confusing for people. And so what that did is it took what was already a low level of anxiety for me launching this, because it's really an anxiety driven thing. You want people to like it. You want them to get what they came for. It grabbed my own doubt and I went, oh my God. Right? So doubt in everyday living, you are never going to be without it. So what you want to do is recognize when it shows up and pivot away from it. And that's what we're going to learn to do in this masterclass is when doubt shows up, how do you go from doubt to that calm, centered flow state? And you get rid of the garbage going on in the head. You go back to trusting what was your signaling system that got you to do what you're doing in the first place, which is your intuition, right? So it's never about eliminating fear. It's about catching it and then pivoting so you can keep going joyfully on your journey and not get stuck with all of the in your head.
I love that. And it's so funny because if you look at some of the highest performers in the realm of personal development and spirituality, they say exactly what you say. Those little voices in your head are never going to go away. They
No,
hear
they
them
don't
all
go
the
away.
time. You just have to do it anyways. And
Mhm.
tapping into your intuition and finding that flow. And I love the ditch the doubt, find the flow. Like
Yes.
that's so beautiful. And it reminded me of a story right now for myself that happened to me. I had been called for a long time now to put together some courses myself, and I went and I was speaking with someone, and she started questioning, well, like, who are you to put on these
Mhm.
courses? And what did I do? I stopped in my tracks. I was like, oh, well, who am I?
Right.
My intuition was saying I need to do this. And
Mhm.
so if I, had a course like yours, this masterclass slash summit together, I could have just tapped into that and then just tapped back into myself, and I didn't have those resources at the time. So I think that
Exactly.
is really, really cool. And I want to talk to, because I know your background, and I know that you have, when you started being like a spiritual mentor, that you had put together some courses. So I would love for you to just tap into just sharing with the people about the courses that you've put in previously, because I think that's really important to know how much background you have in this, because it just is going
Yeah.
to go through in the work that you're doing for this.
So, like I said, I originally started out, I worked with Bob Proctor for a couple of years. I was a facilitator at his Matrix event. I have one of his certifications, but that actually was something that led me in a different direction. I walked away from that because it wasn't right for me. And I went in the direction of, well, what is right for me? What can I do? What can I teach? And so I taught courses on like the actual usage of visualization. Like it's called Visualization 201, Turning Thoughts to Things. I did abundance mindset courses. I did law of attraction courses, and they're still out there in the ether, but I don't want to talk about them right now because I want to focus on the intuition thing. But in terms of like guiding people there, but so I have about 4,600 students, and the one thing that I'm most proud of is like when I get feedback from them, I get like a pretty consistently 4.5 out of 5 rating, which just says to me I did what I promised I was going to do. So that's really important to me as a teacher. But so I did all of these and I kept gathering my voice. What does my voice sound like in this arena? What does it sound like to teach it from my way? And then that led me to write the book Accelerate Your Mojo, which is a compilation of what I had learned, what I knew to be true for me, and then the funnel of my voice through the language that I teach it. And I teach it not to sound simplistic about it, but I teach it in a way that's kindergarten simple because I used to be a kindergarten teacher. And I don't want it to be complicated. I want it to be so overtly easy that you're like, wait, what? Like it's that easy? Yeah, it's that easy. I don't want to complicate it. I don't want to speak highbrow language. Like spirituality and connecting with yourself is easy. We don't need to make it difficult. We like to make it difficult as human beings. We like to make things difficult. We like to seem like if we're super intellectual that somehow we're better off because of that. But it's really easy.
It truly is. And I wanted to bring that up because of the fact that you have such a background in this. And I think there's a huge credibility seeing how many people have been affected by your courses. And then to
Mhm.
mention like the rating shows that your courses are converting to people and reaching them on a simple level, because sometimes
Yeah.
we make it so complicated. And I think that that's all going to show through in the work that you've done for this masterclass slash
Well,
summit.
yeah, I started out in elementary education. I have a master's degree in education. I used to be a division head at the private school I worked at. Like there's a lot of what I do what's different about what I do is I take my education background, what I know about learning itself and what creates an opportunity for learning. Because I think in our school system right now, there's too much, it's all focused on memorization. It's really not about learning. It's about memorization. So what a lot of people do when they come into online courses, they come in with that mindset because they've been trained to memorize and they think that's going to get them the result. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're learning here. This everything I do and create is based on a learning format to help you transition into the next phase of whatever you want to learn. So that's what's different about what I do and what I create. It's always based on learning and not memorization.
I think that's super important because for myself in this journey, I have realized, first of all, no one ever taught me about learning styles and that there's different learning
Yeah.
styles. I don't remember ever learning that about myself. And I was a very good memorizer. That's why I got good grades. But can I retain any of that information? No. So, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But I wanted to bring it up because I think that you have that knack and that gift of being able, with your background, to reach people where they're at, whether they're an audio learner, a visual learner, a hands-on learner.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been to workshops and other courses, and someone just sits and is talking at me, and I get so lost because I need something visual or like hands-on. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly. So thank you for sharing
Well,
all of that.
yeah, a lot of what I talk about in my book is experiential learning. What that means
Yeah.
is you take an idea and you begin to digest it and chew on it, and then it intersects with your life, with your real life experience, which therefore brings about an awareness. And experiential learning is all we got. That's it. Like, if we can't take concepts and bump it up against our own experience and then have an awareness and a difference in perspective, we don't really have very much.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Okay, so let's bring it back around. Tell me, when is the master class and how is it going to work?
So it's February 9th through 12th. And Jennifer, you have the link. So you'll post the link. And basically, it's you just enroll for free and it's free. And I've had a couple people like say things already, like somebody enrolled and they're like, I didn't get the welcome email because it's a double opt in. So you have to check your email and make
Mm,
sure because it's to avoid spam. So you just enroll for free. And then February, and join the Facebook group too, because the Facebook group is really my touch point because it's just me. I did everything. I don't have support help. It's just me. But you're going to get an email February 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th that has direct links to the speaker's videos. So all you got to do is click on the link, go watch the video. You can comment below it. You can go to the Facebook group and comment there. We're going to be doing some Facebook Lives. You're going to do one.
mhm.
Some of the other practitioners are going to do one. What else? What
You're
else? So
premiering on YouTube too, right? I think that's a
shh.
oh,
It's a
that's a
surprise.
sneak peek.
Don't say that yet. Yes, there's lots of surprises all week long. There's going to be bingos. You can play bingo. There are prizes. What else?
I have a question. So, okay, first of all, a double opt-in, I learned this from doing it on my Kajabi,
Yes,
is people are going to sign up, then Kajabi will send an email that says, click this and submit it, and
yes,
then you will start to get the information. So I want to be
yes.
clear about what the double opt-in is, because I did that and I didn't tell people, and so I think some people missed adding to my email
Right. I
list.
just got an email this morning. They're like, I didn't get in. I'm like, actually, you did. You just have to go to your email and verify. So it's just to verify, that you actually want to get this and somebody else didn't enter your email, you
Yeah.
know, for you and then subscribe you. So you have to do it yourself and double opt in.
And then how are they gonna find the Facebook group? Is that gonna come in the email, or do I need to post the
You
Facebook
can.
group also?
So what I know as an educator is do it, do it, do it again, do it again, do it again. Post it here.
Okay.
It comes in the email every single day. Um, There are where else is it? It's pretty much, yeah, just post and
Okay.
repost it, but it's in the emails. The emails have the links every single day. You only have 24 hours to watch the day's videos, and that's important because I want to move on and give the spotlight to the next group of practitioners. So you have
Okay.
5 practitioners Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 7 on Friday, and each of those is a 24-hour cycle. So make sure you watch. And then, of course, you just blew my surprise, but there's a prize in there in case you miss one. So, yes,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Well, only people who follow me will hear that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and who actually watched this video. Okay, and then the other question I had was, is there a time frame? Because we know it's February 9th to 12th, but is there any like time? Like, is it 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or anything like that?
I have set my email responder to go at 8 a.m. Central Time, and
Okay.
then it goes until 8 a.m. the next day, at which point the page will come down and the next group will go out at 8 a.m. So it's like 8 a.m. Central to 8 a.m. Central.
Okay.
And then um and then there may be something special for Valentine's Day, because in the US we'll have Valentine's Day that weekend. So there might be something special for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
You
you
know,
have
if
gone so above and beyond. I
if
love it.
somebody wants to go in, I'll tell you, because I got another question about this too. So when you enroll, it takes you to a thank you page to tell you all the information that you want, but it also offers you an option to enroll with us because, again, it's an actual class, not just a summit. So if you take that option, it's only for 15 minutes, the fast action price, because somebody emailed, they're like, oh, wait, I didn't realize there was only 15 minutes to get that $49. I'm like, yeah, it's 15 minutes. And then the price goes up to 79, and then it goes up to 129 over the weekend. And of course, the whole point being, I want you to come into the class. I want to work with you on a long-term basis. So
Okay, so it's free to register and watch the
yes,
videos. Then there's
yes,
options to upgrade to the $49, which is a time limit to do so, and then the price will go up.
yes.
So if someone is liking what they're seeing, they should buy the $49 all access pass, which I have that link in this video, and then it'll move up. And then the 129 is to move forward to work with you on the longer term.
No, it's the price just goes up because
Oh, got it.
obviously I want you to get in at the lower price. However, I do want to say that I designed the whole class that if you watch all the free videos, you are going to know how to hear, trust, and follow your intuition. I did a reverse engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did this, I said, I want to make sure that if somebody just wants to watch it for free, they are going to get their transformation that they came for. So if you watch every single video and they're only 30 minutes, 5 each day. So it's not like 50 videos that you got to spend your whole day doing. But if you watch each video, or even frankly, if you watch half of them, because of the way I designed it, you
Mm-hmm.
will know how to ditch the doubt and find the flow. You don't have to purchase it to do that. If you want to purchase, what you're purchasing is a class, you're purchasing a community, you're purchasing, the option to ask your questions to a real life person later on.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know for me that we added extra special things in there if people do purchase
Yes.
it. So
Yeah.
I would
Mhm.
suggest it. If you feel called, that's always my thing. If
Yeah.
that calls to you, check it out. Okay, so I think that was all of my questions. And if anybody has any questions that's watching this, feel free to reach out to myself, or you can reach out to Allison and or drop just your questions in the comments. I'll be monitoring and I'm happy to answer them for you.
Or
Allison,
come to the Facebook group too.
yeah, I'll put the group link in the comment section.
Mhm.
So, and if it's on YouTube, then I'll put it in the description of the
Yeah.
video. So, because I'm streaming a couple different places. Do you
Yeah.
have anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up?
Um, so from just a so if someone just watches this, if they don't come to the group, they don't have any further conversations, what I would say is that if you want to become more attuned to your own inner guidance, your inner voice and intuition, all you need to do is start asking the question. You don't have to ask it out loud. You just simply ask it to yourself. And what I would recommend is that when you go to sleep every night, that just before you fall asleep, you say to yourself, I want to know more about this. And what you'll find is that you wake up the next day with more synchronicities, more awareness, more aha moments. It doesn't have to be more difficult than that. It really doesn't.
I love that, and thank you for sharing that as a final piece. I think that's beautiful, and I'm 100% agree with that. I have experienced personally tons of signs and synchronicities. It has led me on magical journeys to magical places, meeting magical people, magic,
Yep.
magic.
Yep.
Love it. And then just one final thing I want to say is that I've been on the back end of this because I am a speaker with it, and Allison has done an amazing job. She has done this all herself. She's extremely organized. And I say this because I'm a person that's organized and I really value organization and
Mhm.
efficiency. And like, wow, you have wowed me. And I think that when you bring that to the table, it brings a different experience for people. And I just think that you have done an amazing job and you've put your heart and soul into this. And it's really going to show through in what comes out on the other side for everyone that shows up to be a user of the experience. So I would highly
Yeah,
recommend checking it out. And thank you for just putting yourself out there and this work into the world.
you're welcome. Yeah, I'm here for the experience, the user experience, for the people. That is why
Yeah.
I'm on this planet in this space and time, so
Service. I love it. So, all right. Well, I hope everyone has an amazing Friday and a great weekend. And thanks for tuning in.